In this video, I'm going to be modeling for you how to solve comparison problems. And the strategy we're going to use is comparison bars. They give a really great visual for helping you compare two values. You'll see I have three examples here. This first one here is very basic. We know both of the values and we're just doing a simple comparison. These two here are a little bit more complex. We know one value and then we have a hint about the other one. And so we have to kind of piece everything together, and then we always want to come back and see if what we got was reasonable. So we'll talk about that after each time as well. So to get started, here I have Juan, 135 stamps. Sarah has 87 stamps. So I'm trying to figure out how much more Juan has, or how much fewer stamps Sarah has. So I'm comparing Juan and Sarah, so I'm just going to set up here. I'm comparing them, and I just like to use initials so that I can focus more on my visual. So I'm going to draw Juan's bar, 135. I know his value, so I'm writing it inside the bar. Now Sarah's bar, I know her value is 87, and 87 is less than 135, so her bar is going to be shorter. A shorter bar because she has less stamps. So now I have to figure out here, what's this part here that's the fewer? What is she missing? Or this part here, what is the extra amount of stamps that Juan has? So when I'm trying to figure out the difference between two values, I know that word difference is a clue that I can be using subtraction. So I'm going to go ahead and use my subtraction of 135 minus 87. I can also visualize it kind of like this, thinking here's Sarah over here with her 87 stamps, and here's Juan over here with his 135 stamps. And I'm trying to figure out the difference in between them. How much more would Sarah need to get to be equal to Juan? How much would Juan need to give up to be equal to Sarah? So really you could use addition or subtraction in this problem. So I'm going to go ahead and use subtraction though, because I know I'm finding the difference, and I like to use subtraction when I use the difference. So I can use any strategy that I want now. I'm going to use expanded forms. So 135 in expanded form, subtracting 87 in expanded form. And so now I like to always start in the ones place, just so I don't have to redo any of my ungrouping if I need it. So 5 minus 7, I need some more ones, so I'm going to ungroup a 10 and put that 10 there so I can have some more ones. Now I have 15 ones. 15 minus 7 is 8. Now let me subtract my tens. 20 minus 80 I cannot do, I need more tens, and I get them from the hundreds place. So I'm going to put that 100 I'm grouping right there. 120 minus 80 is 40. So 48 is my answer. That means Juan has 48 more stamps. Sarah has 48 fewer stamps. Now let's move on to a little bit more complex problem, and you'll see why in just a moment. So Tuesday we got 84 coins at the arcade, and Wednesday we got 23 more than Tuesday. That's an important wording. It's not 23 coins on Wednesday, it's 23 more than Tuesday. So that's just a hint about Wednesday. I'm trying to figure out how many coins I got on Wednesday. So let's set up our problem here. I'm comparing Tuesday and Wednesday. Now I know Tuesday's value is 84. I know Tuesday's value is 84. So I can put it in the bar there. Wednesday's value is not 23. It's 23 more than Tuesday. So what I like to do is I like to start my bar and say, well, that's what it would be if it was equal, if it was 84 and 84. But it's not equal. It's 23 more. So I'm going to show where there's more, and I'm going to put 23. This value is 23. It's important that I write that on the extra area, the more area. The bar is not 23. That's why I didn't write it in the bar. It's this extra piece is 23. So now I need to use what I notice and what I know. What I notice is that Wednesday is Tuesday plus 23. It's the same as Tuesday. This here is the same as this one, equal 84 plus some more. So when I think about that, I think it's like having the same as Tuesday plus 23 extra. So now I can use what I noticed. It's like equal plus some more. I can use what I notice to help me solve it. So I'm going to use addition here. So now I can use any strategy that I want again. 84 and adding 23. I'm going to look to see for ungrouping. Or regrouping. I can't regroup any of my ones, so I'm just going to count them. 4, 5, 6, 7. Let me check for my 10s. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Oh, I can regroup. I made 100. So now I have no 10s and 100. I have 107. Now I need to think about what that means. That means this whole bar is 107 because that's 84 would be equal to Tuesday plus the 23. And when I think if that's reasonable, I need to think about it. 107 is more than Tuesday, and it should be because I got more coins on Wednesday than on Tuesday. So that makes sense. That's a reasonable answer. Let me do one more here. We have Teresa took 28 fewer pictures than Max, and Max took 125 pictures. So how many pictures did Teresa take? So I'm comparing them. So I'm comparing Teresa with Max. Now I can't make Teresa's bar yet because I don't know her value. I know a little bit about her value, but I don't know the exact value. I'm actually trying to figure that out. I do know Max though. Max is 125 pictures. 125 pictures. And so now I can think about Teresa. Teresa is not 28. It's 28 fewer than Max. Fewer than Max means less than Max. Her bar should be shorter than Max. So here is Teresa's bar. And it's not 28. It's 28 fewer. This part here is 28 less. This part here means he has 28 more than her. So if I take what Max has and I take away what he has extra, they would have the same amount. You see that here? If we take away what he has extra in his pile of pictures, they'll be equal. So I'm trying to figure out, and I'm going to use subtraction because I'm going to take away what he has extra. So I'm going to take away the 125, and I'm going to subtract the extra pictures that he has more than her, and it'll help me figure out how many she has. So now I'm going to use any strategy that I want. 125, and I'm subtracting 28. So let me subtract my 8 ones. I can't do that. Let me ungroup. Now I can subtract 8. 5, 6, 7, 8. And now let me subtract my 2 10s. Well, I can subtract 1 10. Let me ungroup and then subtract them. Okay, now I can subtract my 2 10s. So 1, 2. And so now let me see here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ones and 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. 9 10s or 90. So now I need to think if that's reasonable. So here, Teresa is supposed to have less pictures than him. And when I look at that, I'm finding that she has 97, and that is less than 125. So that's a reasonable answer, that she has 97. So go ahead and use comparison bars when you're setting up your problem, and then always go back and think if what you figured out is reasonable. Does it make sense? And that's always a good indicator. If you get something that doesn't make sense, you need to try a different strategy.